The Knights of the Golden Circle. Who really killed Lincoln? April 14th, 1865. Just 5 days after the Civil War officially ended, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. That's the story you've been told. But what if it was just the beginning? Because Booth didn't act alone. And according to growing historical speculation, he may have been part of something far more dangerous, a secret network that operated in the shadows of American politics and finance. A group called the Knights of the Golden Circle. Who were the Knights of the Golden Circle? The Knights of the Golden Circle, KGC, were not a myth. They were a real underground organization founded in the 1850s with one mission: to protect and expand slavery by forming a vast empire centered on the southern U.S., the Caribbean, Mexico, and parts of Central America, all ruled by elite Southern power. Their goal was to build what they called the Golden Circle, a pro-slavery empire spanning 2,400 miles in diameter. But after the Confederacy lost the Civil War, many believe the KGC didn't disappear. They went underground. And their new mission? To destroy Abraham Lincoln, the man who shattered their dream of Southern dominance. And something even bigger: Lincoln's war against the central banking elite. Why would they want Lincoln dead? Lincoln wasn't just fighting the South. He was fighting debt-based money. To fund the Civil War, Lincoln refused to borrow from international bankers at high interest. Instead, he authorized the printing of Greenbacks, a new interest-free currency backed by the U.S. government itself. This move bypassed the banking elite who had profited for centuries by lending to governments during wartime. It was a financial revolution, and some believe it signed Lincoln's death warrant. The Booth Connection. John Wilkes Booth is widely known as a Confederate sympathizer and actor, but less discussed is his alleged connection to the KGC. Booth had deep ties to Southern elites, secret societies, and Confederate agents. He wasn't just passionate, he was well-funded and highly organized. Researchers have pointed out that Booth had access to safe houses along an established escape route. He had assistance from a network that stretched from D.C. to the Deep South. His actions were coordinated, not spontaneous. Could this network have been the Knights of the Golden Circle? Many historians believe yes. The deeper motive. Here's where the story goes even deeper. The KGC didn't just want revenge. They wanted a financial reset, one that would bring the South back into power and potentially shift America back under control of European-style banking interests. Lincoln's Greenbacks were a threat not only to the global financial elite, but also to Southern aristocracy, which was tied to British and French banking families, including the Rothschilds. Killing Lincoln wasn't just political, it was monetary warfare. What happened after Lincoln's death? Lincoln's successor, Andrew Johnson, was far more lenient toward the South and rejected Lincoln's vision of national economic independence. Soon after, Greenbacks were slowly phased out. The U.S. returned to debt-based currency, and by 1913, the Federal Reserve was born. A private central bank modeled on European systems. Was this coincidence? Or was the plan completed? Did the KGC survive? There's evidence suggesting that the Knights of the Golden Circle didn't dissolve after Lincoln's death. Some believe they went even deeper underground, evolving into other groups, or quietly infiltrating American financial and political institutions. Rumors persist that KGC buried gold caches across the U.S., intended to fund future revolutions. Some treasure hunters and historians claim they're still being uncovered to this day. What's certain is this: the deeper you dig into history, the less it looks like a clean battle between North and South, and more like a coordinated war over control of the future. Final thought. John Wilkes Booth pulled the trigger, but who funded him? Who protected him? And why did he believe killing Lincoln would save America? Maybe because someone told him it would. They say Lincoln died for freeing the slaves. But follow the money, and you'll find a far darker reason. A reason whispered in secret circles, by men in the shadows, who never truly went away. John Wilkes Booth didn't act alone, and the truth is darker than you think. Like, share, and follow if you believe history has more layers than they ever taught us.